I was doing some rewatching of the trailer for some other videos I've been making, and I think Miss Brier's actually the one that causes Berserker mode Miraidon or Koraidon. And I think it's because it's her dragon that's actually attacking you this time. New villain of DLC 2 revealed? Maybe not. But there is definitely something interesting there. So, Berserker, Miraidon, and Koraidon. As you can see from this thing, you have your dragon. In this one, it's showing the Miraidon. In this thing, it's showing the Koraidon with you facing off against a Miraidon. Because of the way it's framed, you only see one at a time, but the background behind the Miraidon and the background behind the Koraidon are two very different things. One of them is the start of the tunnel. The other, it looks like the end of it. And then you see the ground just split open and you fall down into the void where it leads into the depths of Area 0. This is how they expand Area 0 to give us the bigger part we were looking for, where, as we all thought, Area 0 gets bigger with Terapagos. And this kind of goes to something else I was going to talk about later in a different video, about Iron Crown, about Raging Bolt, and returning Walking Awake and Iron Leaves. Because they're not going to lock those two things behind one event, and then just, you never can get them again. They were promotional things. You're going to be able to get more of them, maybe even shiny hunt them here now. But before we get into all unpacking that craziness and shenaniganery, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more. There's a lot of stuff we got going on, and the shiny giveaway in a few weeks. Onto the shenanigans stuff and things, and there's probably 2 or 3 different ways that Miraidon or Koraidon go absolutely Berserker mode. If it's your Miraidon and Koraidon that goes Berserker mode and actually starts to turn against you with the whole glowing red eyes of evil, then it's likely Terapagos is the cause of that. There's a chance that it's actually Miss Brier that also caused it, because as we know, she wants to have access to Area 0, and both the Paradox Mount Pokemon are pretty much the longest time things inside of Area 0. She may want to study and tinker with them. But the other thing, and the one thing that actually might be more likely if it is your Miraidon and Koraidon doing that, is actually Terapagos doing it. Because I believe Terapagos is the time machine, which goes into a later video we're going to be making about what really are Paradox Pokemon. Because they're not what we think they are, they're something a lot more sinister. And Terapagos, as the creator of the Paradoxes, which the Paradox Pokemon does include Miraidon and Koraidon, it makes it go Berserk mode, either unintentionally or intentionally, to keep you away from it. Of course, it only opens up the gateway to you where you can go and fight Terapagos itself mano-a-mano, but I don't think that's more likely. I think it's Miss Brier's the one, and using her own Miraidon or Koraidon. If you're playing Scarlet, she'll have a Miraidon. If you're playing Violet, she'll have a Koraidon. She'll have the opposite paradox of which you had. And very likely her entire team is going to be Dragon, because as we saw from her eyes, very dragony lady looking thing. And she's from Unova, so we might be seeing a couple of Unovan dragons foreshadowing the Black and White remake, or even the Black and White 2 remake, because as we did see, the 3 Unova dragons, Zekrom, Reshiram, and Kyurem, got pretty big center focus among the legendaries showcased in the trailer for the returning legendaries. They're not being subtle about this. With the tree probably being the start of the quest to find Terapagos. Because the giant underground crystal structure that sort of blooms out like a giant chandelier of doom is the underside of the final lab station, the one that's completely encased in crystal inside of Area 0's depths. Likely that whole tunnel that opens up with a giant crack that you fall down, you take that access point from the depths underneath the Apex Paradox room, which is what I like to call that room with the giant geoglyph on the ground, with that weird rectangular thing, because nature doesn't make straight lines. Humans do. Which to me sounds like a giant doorway. Either in the process of battling her, the ground opens, or she, with you having discovered she gets access to Area 0, which she has been trying to get access to, and you find that she's gotten into Area 0 without permission. Maybe she tries to game and exit you, so you can't reveal her plans, because she is trying to prove Heath, her ancestor, was correct about the Scarlet and Violet book, so she's got some pretty good reasonings to dispose of you if you interfere with her plans. And for wondering why she has a Miraidon or a Koraidon, she probably found it and is gonna use Miraidon and Koraidon's existence to prove, hey, Heath wasn't making crap up before. There's these weird things that exist down in Area Zero that you don't know about. So it would actually make perfect sense that she would have a Paradox Dragon Legendary. Which even further makes sense when you consider the motifs of Scarlet Violet, the past and the future, which was a motif established back in the original Unova games. You have Opelucid City, the Dragon Gym Town, which in one version is the past. It is classical. It is very old-timey. You got an old-timey stringed instrument person playing. And then you go into the other version, and it's this techno-futuristic, ultra-modern metropolis. You have this past and future already being established, which further connects back to the original ideas of Scarlet Violet, which is the past and the future, just taken to the logical extremes of ultra million years in the future and ultra million years in the past with prehistoric and futuristic Pokemon. Which would also bring in, as we know, the other rivals are going to be returning, whether they all get one giant big story together, or each of the 3 different rivals get their own storyline in the DLC. This could be the way that they handle Arven's story. Maybe we find Arven's other parent. Maybe we find really what their parent discovered originally and made them want to study Area Zero more. Maybe they stayed in Area Zero not out of wanting to study it, but to contain something. Something far more dangerous than the paradoxes we know. This is something certainly interesting. This is not the longest video I've made, but it's certainly something that I think is worth mentioning, because I haven't seen anyone talking about the glowing evil eyes of evil that Miraidon has in that trailer, and that Koraidon has a bit of a glowing aura around it. So something's going on here. And I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more, and I will see you guys next time. Let us know your thoughts below about what you think is going on here.